So here is this exercise. It's a little tricky. It's called the Subscapularis diagonal. So this exercise has some pretty good EMG results for muscle activation of the serratus anterior and the subscapularis. So it's a little tricky. I'll go through the motion with you here. So I'm starting out at 90-90. Now positioning yourself with the band is a little tricky. Sometimes I really just kind of play around with patients and go to different angles until they feel the tension properly. This is pretty good coming at me from roughly a 45-degree angle, but the thing has got to be behind me and it's got to be above at least the shoulder. And you'll see as I pull down into the motion why that trajectory matters. So the point of this is I start here, I've positioned my shoulder blade into that posterior tip, and now I'm maintaining that position, and I come down into internal rotation, and I cross over roughly to the opposite ASIS. I'm not quite getting there. If I go across, that's okay as long as I can maintain that scapular position. But the idea is I maintain the position of the posterior tip. I'm not using my pec muscle or my lat muscle. So this is similar to the serratus push-up that we did before. This is a tricky exercise for people to do. But once they get good at it, this is mush, my lat is mush, and now I'm going up and down. Now the other key point of this is I'm trying to maintain as best I can a 90-degree angle of elbow flexion. If I come out of it and I go like this is going to be all pec. So I want that rotational element. So if I maintain that 90-degree angle, I can maintain its rotation, not coming into something like horizontal adduction. So it's not a PNF pattern, it's different. Now as I go through, I'm going to feel similar muscle activation to what we discussed with the serratus anterior, kind of ambiguous somewhere under the scapula, maybe in the axilla somewhere, but you don't want your patient flexing their pec and their lat. Similar kind of rep range here, 15 to 20, and you can progress. You know, red band is really easy for some people. You may have to progress and we use a cable column or something like that. But a tricky exercise, try to practice it, and you can see with my left hand, all I'm really doing is just making sure I'm not tightening up my pec too much. So for me, the range of motion is better if I go kind of just past the umbilicus. If I go across too much, I end up firing up my pec. So just sort of mess around with it, see what feels best for you. Just making sure, again, not a lot of pec and lat activation.